Hello everyone and welcome to my review of the Millenium Falcon. It is set number 75105, it is ages 9 to 14 and it comes with 1,329 pieces. It sells for £130 and today I'm going to be retailing it. As you can see, it comes with 7 minifigures, which is really good, and they're all really relevant ones from The Force Awakens. And the set is massive, the value is definitely good as it hits that 10 parts per piece thing perfectly, pretty much. So here is some information here on the screen, in case you want the price in dollars, that sort of thing. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So let's take a look at some of the features, starting off with the spring-loaded missiles. Those are there, very nicely integrated. As you can see, you just put your fingers into this section and they're very nicely integrated there. Next we're going to look at the cockpit here. You can see we have Han Solo in it. I'm not sure how much I like this feature. It's okay, but it's a shame that you have to sort of break it apart and sometimes certain pieces come off with it. So that's a bit of a shame. But here you can see we have the guns on top, and underneath you have a little sliding board which has Rey and Finn on it. This, I'll show you them as minifigures later, but this is quite cool as it shows how they sort of have the gun turrets in the Millenium Falcon, and it looks very accurate actually. Nice place to put the minifigures. So now we're just going to open up the rest of the ship. You can lift this down and then the rest of it all just comes off as like pizza slices, which is very similar to the old ones, but it still looks good. They haven't quite managed to get rid of the gaps yet, but one day they will. Here you can see the famous space chessboard. This is a very nice, you can see Chewbacca and BB-8 having a game. At least BB-8 doesn't have any arms to get ripped off. As you can see, this is a very nice printed piece, not a sticker. It's like a dish on top of a clip. So I'll just put that back down there. Here is the hyperdrive core. Most of the features on the inside of the set are just sort of aesthetic. So we have the nice hyperdrive here, and we have some seats here. We have a bunch of messy storage at that side. It reminds you that it's been owned by, what's his name? The Unkar plot guy, whatever his name is, who used to own the ship before Rey and Finn stole it. So it shows that it's sort of been trashed for quite a while. Here you have like a control board, which is quite nice. So yeah, inside the ship there's just a lot of detail. And then if you look at it quite carefully here, you can see this little part here which can be pulled up. And underneath you have the little storage place where Rey and Finn went. It's not quite big enough to really fit the minifigures in. I think you might be able to squeeze one in without any accessories. Looking at the other side, you can see this one is pushed down, and that's like a ramp to get into the ship. Again, it's not quite minifigure scale, but you can sort of put someone on with like a bit of a squeeze, and they can fit on just about. Here you can get a better view of the hyperdrive with the purple stickers. There are a lot of stickers in this set, which is not that great. Like, it's a big set, there are going to be lots, because they can't just print all of them. Yeah, as you can see, all of these are stickers, all of these are stickers, these are stickers. But don't let that take away from the set, because they're not too much of a pain. It's the really small ones which are bad. So, as you can see, it all fits on nicely. One of the other things which LEGO updated from the old one was the new back of the ship with that tube piece. That looks really nice now. The other thing that they've updated is the front of the ship. It's a much nicer shape now, a lot more accurate. And overall, LEGO have just done a really great job with capturing the overall shape of the set. So all of these are detailed differently. The cockpit stands out very nicely and it's very well constructed. The front of the ship looks great, and although it's not quite as big as, for example, the UCS one, they've still managed to capture these parts on the back nicely with stickers. That concludes my review of the ship, and now we're going to take a look at the minifigures, which there are a good selection of. So firstly, let's take a look at the main characters from the set, and the good characters. We have older Han Solo, we have Finn with his Poe resistance jacket, we have Rey, and we have Chewbacca, the newer version, or Not particularly new, but newer than the old one. Han, with his very new jacket, has nice chest printing, and he's a bit plain, but he's just sort of a regular guy in all of his Lego minifigures. Except for the new Death Star one with the really great looking hair. That is, I want to get that sometime. Then we have Finn. The Resistance jacket looks really good. Shame that he has that massively oversized zip there, but I don't know what that's for. And you can see he has his black sort of Stormtrooper underclothes there. Rey's character is captured very well. She has the robes and they continue down onto her leg pieces very nicely. And Chewbacca has the bowcaster. Han has a small like pilot pistol. Finn has a regular blaster. Rey has that silver one that Han gives her, and Chewbacca has the bowcaster, which is the flick fire one. But I'm not going to fire that. You can see he looks really good actually. A lot of people don't like the contrast between the front of his face and like the main part of his body, but I really like it actually. I mean, it could be blended a bit more realistically, but I think it's definitely better than the old one because there is colour variation on him, and the belt that he wears, or the sash, is really well captured and it looks really good. If you weren't aware, Chewbacca is just made by a person with a torso piece, and then this part is put on top. Now you can see the back of their hair pieces. Rey's is especially interesting with the sort of the 3 bobs on it. So yeah, you can see that Han and Finn's back printing is quite plain. Just a couple of lines, like creases in his jacket, and then same with sort of thing with Finn. Rey's robes just continue around the back, and Chewbacca's sort of sash thing does as well. And yep, that's the back, and now let's look at their alternate faces. So yeah, a lot of alternate faces in this set. Han's is just sort of a grin. Finn has a sort of determined look, and I guess so does Rey. They look pretty similar there. Chewie doesn't have an alternate face, obviously. So here we have the 2 Kanji Cub gang members. Its leader, Tassu Leech, and just one of his gang members. They both look quite cool. Tassu Leech seems to have some sort of armour there, and with some strips across the front if you can't see those. And his gang member has like some swirls along the front of his armour, which look really nice, along with a sort of sash. They have some old musket guns they look like they're a few hundred years old, but anyway, this one looks more like a rifle sort of thing. Face printings are quite cool. Tassu Leech looks quite angry. Maybe they've just escaped. I don't think these were the right minifigures to include in this set. I think they should have had like the guy from the shop in Jakku, those sort of people, because they actually were relevant to the Falcon. I mean, yeah, they were trying to catch them on it, but they should have been like in the freight. They were in the freighter, not the Falcon. But anyway, let's look at their back printing. And here we have their back printing. You can see Tassu Leech has some quite long hair, and the other guy is wearing some sort of bag and some straps that hold it there. So let's take their hair off, or hats off. Here you can see that only Tassu Leech has an alternate face, the other guy does not. And not particularly interesting, but I suppose that's when he's slightly less angry. He's not got anything particularly interesting on his back. Some sort of bag, I think. But that's it for those minifigures. So let's get into the final thoughts of the set. Oh no. First we have BB-8 to look at. Here you can see one of the coolest, I guess you can call him a minifigure from the set. He's more of I guess he's a droid, but they've made 2 pieces especially for him. The sort of rounded bottom piece and his head. They both look really nice. They're shiny, they have the orange perfectly, and they look really great. I'll zoom in on the head a bit. You can see that looks really nice there, really crisp printing. I put him on a bit of a pedestal so he can get some more height, but this is how tall he is in relation to a minifigure. He's really cool. I wish he'd come with some other sets, but at least I have him, so I guess I can't complain about that. He rotates round on top of his little ball, so that's quite cool. Or you can just rotate the head individually, obviously. No alternate face for him, of course. I thought I'd look at him individually because he's really cool. So there you go, there's BB-8. So there we go, there's my review of the Millenium Falcon from 2015. is a really good set, and the price is worth it. It's super iconic, and especially if you don't have any of the old ones, then you should definitely get it. Some of the only differences, like the new front, the new radar dish, that sort of thing. The thing I forgot to show you was the underneath of the set, so I'll do that now. You can see here it's quite square and blocky. It's not that great, but obviously you're not really going to be looking at it ever from underneath, unless it's hanging, which isn't really possible. But obviously here you can see the cargo door, or the entrance door. You can see the landing gear won't retract or anything. That's a bit of a shame. But yep, that's the underneath of the ship. That's where you can hide minifigures, and here's the other underneath gun, but this doesn't come up or anything. So yep, that's the underneath of the ship. Thank you for watching my review. I hope you found it informative. I'd give this set a 10 out of 10. Definitely, it is really great. Actually, looking at it again, I do think it's better than the First Order Transporter, even though I said in my last video that it wasn't. Just notice we've lost the top turret. That's what happens when you turn it upside down, but you can't really blame it. You're not meant to do that. Comment on what you want to see next. I'm planning to review the Imperial Shuttle Tadarium when I get it, but as of now I'm doing my reviews for all of the battle packs from 2016, such as this one. Thank you for watching everyone, and goodbye.